Alright, hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm here with Commissioner Gordon, Junction City, Kansas. Al, thanks for having me. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
your time, taking the time to do this. I know you're a busy man, so I appreciate it. I'm sure my viewers appreciate you as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, man. I am honored to be here with you.
Yes, sir. Well, let's jump right into it, man.
Alrighty.
Can you just give me a little bit of background and history about yourself, like where you came from and...
Sure can. No problem at all. I am born and raised in the Chicagoland area, more so like the northwest suburbs. My hometown is Joliet, Illinois. I grew up in a single parent household. My mother was a single parent with 6 kids, so we moved a lot. We traveled a lot. I even lived in like San Diego for a couple years as an adolescent. So I got the chance to meet different people, be around different cultures. Like I said, I come from Chicago. I moved to Junction City in 2018 with just hopes of bettering myself as a man, changing my mindset, growing and evolving, kind of, settling down and starting something official. So that's a little bit about me.
Sounds good. Appreciate that. So how has your background or your life experience as an African American man, how has that shaped you into the man you are today?
Okay. I love that question, actually, because it's everything. It's who I am, right? I am a black man. I'm an African American man. Like I said, I grew up in a household, single parent. Luckily, I had grandma, so I did still kind of have that 2-parent, even though it was 2 women. And both of them, they're hard women. They grew up in the streets, and not in just a bad way. Like my grandmother, she has her master's degree in psychology. She was a DCFS worker for the city of Chicago. My mother went to Lewis University. She, studied real estate law. She studied real estate law. So they were just hard women. They taught me, they gave me the tools to be an adult. I tell people women can't teach a man how to be a man, but they can prepare a man to be a man, right? I had to go out and learn that on my own and through life experiences and just being around older people, older crowds, older gentlemen, leaders, guys that I looked up to, like my best friend's Khalil dad. He introduced me to the 5% Nation and to the Moorish Americans and, just things of that nature. So being a black man has totally shaped and molded me into who I am. Just the experiences and the life curveballs that it throws at you, just looking the way that I do, has really taught me how to be loving, be caring, and also lean on God.
That's awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about your store, All About Grindin?
Sure can. So All About Grindin, I've been a serial entrepreneur my whole life, right? As a child, like I said, growing up the way I did, we were less fortunate, right, than others. Mom worked hard as heck. Grandma worked hard as heck to get us everything we needed. So we didn't go without, but there were certain things, I wanted the new Levi's and I wanted the new Jordans, and sometimes we couldn't just get it on the drop of a dime. So I knew that I had to go out and figure out a way to do for myself. So at 8, 9, 10 years old, I was shoveling snow and raking leaves and, mowing lawns for $15 and $20 a house, just to make my own living. Sometimes to bring groceries in the house or buy myself clothes and shoes, or my brothers and sisters, right? So I knew I wanted to own something eventually in life. I knew I wanted to be an owner. I knew I wasn't meant to work for somebody for the rest of my life. So around COVID, I ended up catching COVID 2021, working in construction field, and I felt like I caught COVID from my job. And I just felt like this was at a time where we didn't know what COVID was. We thought, if you breathe, you might die. So I didn't want to bring this home to my family. I felt like that wasn't fair. So I knew I wanted to start something, and I'm into fashion. I really love getting dressed. It's almost like second nature to me. I wake up with an outfit in my head, and before you know it, I've tricked it out or made it my own. So I said, let me start this clothing line And I started a drop shipping e-commerce website, and I started with the clothing, but we were transitioning out of COVID. We were coming back, stores were opening up again. The mask law was lifted. So people were wanting to come out and mingle, and I wanted something I could physically touch and pass down. So I started a storefront, and I wanted it to be a corner store, something you will see like a bodega in New York, or like your corner store in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And I just transitioned it, and I kept building on it. I took a leap of faith, and we're here.
That's awesome. So basically, All Bout Grindin came from pretty much grinding your whole life.
There you go.
That whole background and mentality, you carried it into the store, which is great. That's great.
Exactly. And I get people all the time that ask about that name. And grinding, to me, just to put it out there, is like working or like hustling, right? Everything we do every day is a grind.
Sure.
This right now, we on our grind. Whether you're a parent, you go to the gym, you go to work, you're an entrepreneur, you're on your grind. And we just want to help you and assist your grind in any way possible.
Yeah, well, that's good. So what advice would you have for budding entrepreneurs?
I would just have 2 pieces of advice. You have to have faith. Actually, I'll give you 3. Faith is going to be first. You got to believe in God. You got to believe in the high, even if it's not God, whatever you believe in, that's your higher power, highest level. You have to believe in it, and you have to totally trust it and be willing to step out. 2 is you got to have desire. You got to have that desire in you to not fail no matter what, not allow yourself to lose, and when I say that, I mean totally fail, like just give up and quit, right? The 3rd piece of advice is going to be embrace your failures.
That's good.
Embrace your failures, because those are your biggest lessons, especially in entrepreneurship. Steve Harvey will tell you best, failures. You won't know success until you know failure. Right. So just embrace those failures. But like I said in number 2, don't quit. Do not give up. Keep going.
That's solid advice.
Thank you, sir.
I like that. Especially you talk about embracing failures. I mean, you think about anything, anybody who's had any kind of measurable success in life.
Yep.
If, let's say, Steve Jobs quit along the way.
No apple.
No apple. You got to keep going. You can't let your failures get the best of you.
Nope.
And we have to, like you said, take every failure as an opportunity to learn and grow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, obviously, you recently took the position of one of the city commissioners. Congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you.
So can you tell us a little bit about your desire to be commissioner, why you ran, and what the campaigning process was like?
I sure can. That's no problem. I was driving I'm an avid student, right, of success, of others' grinds that were successful before me. There's an artist that I'm a student of. I'm an avid follower. He passed away in 2019. His name is Nipsey Hussle. I got him hanging behind us on my wall here, and on his album, right, his latest album, 2019, he dropped the album named Victory Lap. On the 6th song called Blue Laces 2, he has a line in there he says, "City council meeting, they got Hustle speaking." And I'm already, me and his grinds, me and his stories, if you will, are similar in ways. I've taken after him with things that I've done, right? And so I felt like this was the next level. Like, something about what he said to me was God telling me that this might be your next level. See what this is about. What is a city council? What is he talking about? Why is that so important that he put that in his rhyme? Now, little do I know, the next line he says, $1 billion project about to crack the cement. So I didn't know that what he was doing was presenting his idea, his business plan to the city commission. I'm thinking he's saying he's a city councilman, right? So I go and inquire about it, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think that they took me serious. And so I kind of just, let it fall by the wayside. Not saying I gave up, but I just didn't even think about it anymore. The mayor at the time was my insurance agent for the store.
Oh.
So I go in his office at the end of 2022, like October, and I'm like, going to pay for my insurance. And he was like, hey, your name keeps coming up. And I'm like, what do you mean? In what way? Good way? Bad way? He was like, good, of course, Al, and he was like, they're excited to have a young black man running for city commission. And I mean, I'm just blown away because I'm like, wow, they took me serious. Like, wow.
Right.
So I'm like, how does it work? What is the problem? He's like, come to every meeting, meet department heads, just show up. And I said, you know what? This is going to be my way to be the change that I want to see in my community.
Right.
Because if you look at Junction City, it's a great place, but we all know that it's overdue for some change. So my process was just being different. Being a standout candidate. I'm new, I'm young, I'm fresh. People don't know me. I have the opportunity to bring some real change here and to do some things that'll carry on through Junction City forever. And that's what it was like, getting out, meeting people, shaking hands, going to forums. I think we had about 9 forums. I hit every single one. I stood firm on my beliefs, on my platform, which was economic development. It was better child care and development, and it was representing the diversity that we have here, because we have a 46% minority ratio. And so luckily the community got behind me. I won with 666 votes, and I took the seat in January.
That's awesome. That's great. I love it. So moving forward then, could you share a little bit about your long-term vision for Junction City and how you plan to leave it better than you found it?
Sure. My long-term vision for Junction City is one that is thriving, one that's everlasting, one that's, I want people that's from here to be, prideful that they come from here, and people that move here like myself or yourself to be happy to call this place home. Like I said, a better place, for better school system, better programs for our children, better parks and fields and rec. I want economic development, more businesses. As me being a small business owner myself, I am a firm believer that your big businesses bring the community, your small businesses keep the community. So if we can have a thriving community, better real estate, better infrastructure, better roads and streets and sidewalks. I just want this place to be a place of utopia, a euphoric, nostalgic place for people that come here or that navigate to here.
Sounds good. I like that.
Thank you, sir.
It's a wonderful vision. So what would your advice be to anybody who is maybe thinking about either getting into serving as an official, or even just getting more involved in the community to make it a better place?
I would say go for it. We need all hands on deck, and not just Junction City, but in the world, period. I mean, just look at our national election right now.
Right.
Look at how it has America in the world, period, in an uproar, and just in a state of constant confusion.
Right.
We need people that care.
Yeah.
We need people that love. We need people that's about change, that's willing to walk the talk, right? Or walk the walk and not just talk the talk, if you will. I would encourage people to get involved, to learn as much as you can before you step into, any seat or any position. Really meet with individuals that's already been there or that's doing it currently, and just become familiar. Go to your local meetings or your national meetings or your state meetings or wherever you can find it, even if you have to tune in on YouTube or on your phones. Just become in the know, get to know people, shake hands, really listen to your community, and then you run off of that. They'll tell you what they want, they'll tell you what they need. You just got to listen. You just have to be there. I tell people I have an open door, open air policy. You can come to me, email, phone, step in my store, meet me out in public. If I have the time, I'll take the time to listen, and I'll really advocate and try to fix the problems. Tell people I'm not Superman. Often I'd like to think I am. I'm Commissioner Gordon, so they often play off of the Batman, and I took it on, but I tell people I might not have every answer, I might not be able to solve every problem, but I can try. Right. And I can at least point you in a direction or get you someone who can help. So yeah, I would encourage people to go for it and give it your all and really put your best foot forward and do it from your heart and do it with God first.
Right. That's good. You've kind of touched a little bit on how God has led you throughout your life and into this position as an elected official. How else has your faith either shaped the man you've become or affects where you see yourself going as a commissioner or as a business owner?
I love that question, man. That's powerful because God is everything for me. He's everything. I just left from church just last week, a week ago today. At this time, I put on a back to school block party for the children in the community. And I'm going to be honest, just like this store, I was 2 weeks out, and I know I'm kind of jumping different places, but just showing where God has inserted himself. And he's always there, but just that one spark that was like, it just had to be him. 2 weeks out from the store, I had no shelving, I had no product, I had nothing. Just a cleaned up store with certain things looking the way it looks now. I had none of this stuff, no pictures on the wall, nothing, man. And I'm freaking out because I'm like, God, you got me here. I got 2 weeks dead. I got a 2 week deadline. How am I gonna get this stuff? That day, I end up finding shelving. A week later, I got product. I mean, thousands of dollars worth of product. And I'm like, where did this come from? The commission thing, not knowing, not thinking the community liked me or even wanted to get behind me. I'm new. I'm thinking that I'm not qualified for this. I've never served. I've never, but just having that faith, knowing I never said if I win. I said when, because God, the store being here 3 years. In October, we'll be going on our 3rd year. There's been so many days where I'm like, man, I'm not doing this right. I suck at this. I'm hurting myself. Like, why am I here? I want to close down tomorrow. This is too hard. But I just, know like God didn't get me here to give up on me. He brought me here for a reason. I am a example of his for the community, for younger adults, for, kids that look up to me like I did the ones that came before me. So if I give up, what is that telling them? Or what is that, what message is that sending to God? So God has shaped every aspect, every facet of my life because I put him first. I believe in Jesus Christ, and I allow him to lead me day in and day out.
Right on. That's a solid answer. I appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Something you said really stuck out to me was not if or when, but when.
Yes, sir.
I think it's vital that we have that faith, that we believe that it's already done in Christ.
Yep.
We just have to step out and actually do it.
Execute it.
Execute it. So I appreciate that.
And if it's not done, that means he has something better for you, or he has a different direction for you. So oftentimes we get hung up in what we want, not understanding that it's always what he wants for us.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true. That's a very good point. And I think lastly, you mentioned the people of the community getting involved, and you said going to meetings and things. What other ways can people of the community get involved and make Junction City or any community really better?
I would say implementing programs, hosting events, being a part of events, volunteering, giving someone your time. It doesn't have to be a dollar amount, just a helping hand. Knowing someone's in need, knowing someone can use some help, some direction, a shoulder to lean on or cry on. God said, don't worry about yourself. I got you. You take care of your neighbor. And that's what I try to do. I try to be there. I try to utilize what he's blessed me with to bless others. And that might not be giving money in church or, paying tithes and offering, but it might be the guy walking down the street in 100-degree weather and I got 3 things of water that's cold in the refrigerator. Hey, boss, you need these more than I do. Here you go. You know what I mean? And that's a blessing for the day. Never know how that could have affected or touched him. And I often get that. And not because I do it because I want that recognition or I want someone to come back, but you never know how you might have affected. You never know if you're handing a water bottle to the next Steve Jobs.
Right.
And so when he gets there, what is he thinking now? Well, let me go give back. So it's just being a blessing, being what Jesus Christ wanted us to be and what he was during his time on earth.
Right. Perfect. I love it. So, Al, once again, I do thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Can you tell us where can we find you?
Yeah, I'm all over social media. I have Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. You can follow me at Commissioner Gordon on everything, or you can follow my business at All Bout Grindin LLC. We do have a website currently. It's under, work, so it's down at the moment, but it is allaboutgrindinllc.com. There is no A in about, so it's BOUT, just so you guys know, because we often get that misunderstood. You can also go to the Junction City website. You can look up my information, my phone number, my city email, my address is all listed. Do not hesitate to reach out. Do not hesitate to, get informed or ask questions. That is what I'm here for, and that's what I love to do. So I just want to say thank you for your time, Brad. I really appreciate it, sir.
Thank you. All right, guys, that's all I have for this one. Once again, Commissioner Al Gordon, Junction City, Kansas. Give him a shout out. Get involved. Do your part. Love you. God bless.
God bless. Thank you.